feel is a bit strange because I feel both sad and excited. Ndinonzwa kusuruwara nekufara nguva imwe chete. I'm sad because we have had to do this to our own country so that we can be heard. Nobody wants to shut down the economy for the fun of it. Nobody wants to shut down the country for the fun of it. But it's something we have had to do to make a point that enough is enough. We can't keep going on like this. Now what has led us to this zvakonzera kuti tisvike panapa are very simple issues. Issues aripo ndeyekuti hurumende tererai vanhu kana when people say we are in trouble and we are feeling the pain, we are not, it's not that we have nothing else to say. It is the truth. The rate of unemployment in Zimbabwe is unbelievable. Our young people spend days and months and years wasting their time, their lives away. Our graduates are on the streets. But more importantly, government ignores blatant cases of corruption within their own ranks. Nevanhu vari muhurumende, makurukota, ministers are blatantly looting the country. And these are things zvatinoona tinotozviziva. And what pains us as Zimbabweans is that government seems to do nothing about it. The people are not punished even though they are known. The cases are right there. The Attorney General has been releasing report after report. Even before the Attorney General came, there are things that are well known. Government has been wasting money. Takatarisa. The case that came out the other day of one of the ministers, Honorable Superman Dwanzira, after it was discovered Kuti he was given $200,000 to buy a brand new car for himself and his deputy or something like that. And his response, what's that to a government minister? 200,000 is change. And do you think I'm a garden boy that I should walk on foot? It's standard government practice. How can you be given, how can government give away that kind of money for buying cars when the country is broke? You can't pay civil servants. Minister Undenge of the Ministry of Energy and Power Development got a brand new car just last week. ZESA issued a statement because they wanted to distance themselves, and they said no, the car that was bought for him, we didn't buy it. It's there in the newspaper. And they said it was bought by CMED. What is government doing? Why would you do something like that? When you can't pay civil servants, you can't pay teachers, we've got no money. Our own money is missing in the banks because government has mishandled our money. So these are the issues that we are saying, government, you can't keep doing this. We need you to be responsive. In a time of crisis like this, gentlemen, responsible leadership reassures people. Responsible leadership inspires people. Responsible leadership gives vision to people. If you give us vision, we keep quiet. If you give us something to follow, we calm down. The reason why it looks like we are running amok is because we have gotten to a point where we are saying, you know what? Nobody seems to care for us, so we lead ourselves. Instead of inspiring, motivating, reassuring, the government goes and they ban, they arrest, and they threaten. Those are the wrong responses. Zimbabweans have gotten to a place where we are saying we are no longer afraid of you. And today is testament to that. Today is testament. You can't arrest everyone. Even if you arrested Mawarire, even if you took me and you made up charges, Mukanditora, and you lied and you came up with charges and you locked me away, you can't lock away the issues. And over 13 million people today have told you those issues. If I were government, I would sit down, listen, and respond properly. Because part of what has happened here today is that it has strengthened our resolve as citizens. We have discovered how powerful we are when we are united. And that is the take home today, if anything else. You know what I have seen across Harare today, and even some of the pictures that are being sent to us from Mutare, Bulawayo, Gweru, Gwanda even, I have seen a new hero in Zimbabwe. It makes me smile, it makes me happy that the citizens, Ruzhinji rweZimbabwe, are the heroes that we have been waiting for all these years. We tried so many other places. We tried the West, the EU, the British, the Americans. We tried the Chinese even. We tried SADC. We tried African Union. They didn't come through for us. And we have learned today, what I saw today are people becoming their own heroes. People understanding. Vanhu vazviziva nhasi kuti koinotovharika zvayo nyika. So we can close it if we want, because we have the power. All along we thought, no, the power is with the politicians. No. We have the power. And that is what I have seen today. That's what I've seen today. You see how desperate people are when you do something and people thank you personally. People phone you, people that you don't know. You meet people in the street and they stop to thank you. People buy you a drink, because that's the best gratitude they can do. One vendor stopped me and gave me a hug. And he said to me, Mdara ndinashandi inacho. He said, I've got nothing to give you. Just allow me to give you a hug, because you've done something for me that I never thought possible. Again, it's both exciting and both scary, because the kind of pressure that puts on you is unimaginable. You are also dealing with people that are not very happy with you, because they accuse you of not telling them what's coming next. They accuse you of not having an end game. They accuse you of saying you are using us, or they accuse you of saying you are giving us false hope. But I cannot blame them because of the journey that they have walked for the last 36 years in Zimbabwe. It's been a hard journey. It's been a hard life. And so it's easy to be skeptical. It's easy to think that this is taking us for a ride. And yet the one thing I have not done is to promise people anything. The only thing I've said is, if we rise up, we can achieve something. If we speak up, we can achieve something. If we push hard enough, we can be heard. If we discover that we are more powerful united than we are divided, we can start to change the destiny of our nation. And that for me is the exciting bit, is that every time we do something, even though sometimes people can't see it, there always seems to be a point of vindication that we were right all along. And I'm thankful for that. The citizens are the new heroes of this country. You know, as sad as it is, that seems to be the way things are done when people feel threatened, especially politically. As recent as last night, I was followed to my office by some men who came. About 4 men. Fortunately, I wasn't there. And it was a bit late in the evening, and they accosted my caretaker and asked where I was. The caretaker asked what they wanted, and they said to him, it's none of your business. And in my mind, I know who they are, and I'm not sure what they wanted to do. But that's a form of intimidation, and I don't know what they wanted to do. But unfortunately, that continues to be my life now. Anonymous phone calls, people pointing, even on social media, people saying things, in a hiding manner. Those threats are there. My resolve has been that I have not broken the law. I've not insulted anyone. The consistent message with this was no violence. Don't insult anyone. Don't incite anyone. Don't attack anyone. Defend yourself if you must, but don't attack. Just leave that alone. Otherwise, it takes away the message. And I'm thankful that I'm not a terrorist. I'm not a threat to my nation. If anything, I believe that myself and my citizens are a blessing to Zimbabwe. To our citizens, today was a day to show that we can achieve a result by doing things differently. The system of government that we have is a very violent system, or at least it is a system that responds with force. And it was and is important that as citizens, we do things differently. We do the opposite. And that is what today was about. Now, I have received some reports that there may have been violence in some areas. And even though it was minimal violence, that is something that we should not do. Because everything we do becomes useless. Everything we do becomes as bad as what was being done to us. Two wrongs do not make a right. But I'm so thankful that the larger part of the population in Zimbabwe that participated in this shutdown of Zimbabwe, the stay away, did not engage in violence. It goes to show you that we are not a violent people, but we are a truthful people. We are not a violent people, but we are a thinking people. We're not a violent people, we're a loving people who love their country. The reason we shut Zimbabwe down is because we love it too much to stand by and watch it burn. And so the thread of no violence continues in everything that we do. What next is the question that everyone is asking. Now that we have done this, what next? I think first of all, let's look at our victory. Because I think when people look at what next, the impatience is so fast that you don't see what we've actually done. What we have done is, number one, we have managed to move a government. They were moved. We found out earlier on today that social media and the internet were affected somehow. We know that that was not an accident. We know that it was not a technical fault. We know that somehow the government was threatened by it and they went ahead and they shut it down or they restricted it. That is a sign to us that they can be moved. So that's number one. Number two, we have learned to be united. Today, what was the crescendo, the apex of today is a moment of unity where everyone sat back, folded their hands and said, I'm not going to work because I'm unhappy about the fact that the government has failed to deliver promises for me, to keep me safe, to reassure me, to give jobs to my children, and to make sure that there's a hospital where I can be looked after. So, what next? The question of what next is something that lies within the citizenry. You see, in as much as I was one of the people that was brave enough to put their face behind saying Shutdown 2016, today was not about me. And so what next is not really about me only. As citizens, we are going to come up with what we shall do next. But I do guarantee you that there is something that we shall do next. It can't stop here. If government does not listen to us, then we have a next step. It's our democratic right and our constitutional right to express ourselves within the law. And we will do that. So, definitely we're moving ahead. And today is a register that these people are not afraid. And these people are fed up. As a parting shot, let me say this. And I tweeted this in the morning, and for me it's become quite a poignant point. We will no longer be divided by the politics of our country, but we shall be united by the dreams of our children. And that is what excites us. We see a future, and we want it so badly that we will do what it takes to get that future.
For these and other stories, visit our website www.263chat.com. Follow us on Twitter @263chat and like our Facebook page 263chat.